Happy Easter Day to you all. I am the prophetess, and I could not get home from service fast enough to deliver this message. I will call it my Easter speech, if you will. It was good to see many of you made it to service today because uh, we know that you only come one time a year, and I understand for many of you it is because you have a paper tag, but that's another message for another day. But I'd like to ask some of you, uh, when you come back, if it is again sometime this year or next year, that you govern yourselves accordingly. I understand that the mothers of the church ain't mothering like they used to when I came up. And it is something called decorum. And the way some of y'all coming now, I'm sitting there, I got me a new tangerine. See how it lights up? This is my Easter tangerine. And I'm sitting there ready to celebrate that he is risen. And let me tell you what rose up in me. The way some of y'all came in there, and I don't know who told you that Bible say come as you are, but there's a lie. It don't say that. And some of you take it too far. What we don't need is cat suits. We don't need a Christian cat suit. We don't need coochie cutters for Christ, if you will. Some of y'all came in there looking like stank saints. You hear me? It was inappropriate and it was uncalled for. I don't know where you think it at. I don't know where you think it is, but we don't need that in the sanctuary. Do you know for years I thought Deacon Earl had Parkinson's. His head would just be jiggling. And I watched him today and I watched him and I watched him. And I thought he had been healed because I said he ain't shaking like he used to. But he went back to shaking today. He went back to shaking and he was a shaking and he was a shaking. And I watched him watching Sister Mary Ann's tail switching. She just switching back and forth. And she got one of them ones that go like this. You know what I'm saying? And I understand that that's what God gave her, but the way he just strike, y'all is just striking the men's and the women's in the sanctuary, and it is inappropriate, and we cannot have it. Do you hear me? I want you to know that anybody can fall under that temptation. I'm going to tell you, I was distracted. Yesterday, some of the young men came up and they was cleaning up the church and things, and they had on gray sweatpants. And I'm going to tell you, I understand that how Eve got distracted by the serpent, if you will. That thing was, when I was looking, I almost backslid because I too was tempted. But I held steadfast because, boy, I kept looking. It was looking at me and I was looking at it and it was looking at me, but I fought the temptation. Deacon Earl ain't fought that temptation. He just looking at it, shaking. Some of y'all switch back and forth and back and forth and wear things that keep the people distracted. So I'm here to tell you, don't do that. Ourselves, girls, some of y'all need to hold that thing down. You got to be, the full armor of God is not a thong. You know what thong rhyme with wrong? That's not God's draws. That's not God's draws. The muscle skirt ministry, we putting it to the end because some of you men got bosoms full as mine and you don't wear good bras and foundation. And I'm not just talking to the women's. Some of y'all men's is built like your grandmothers. Some of y'all got hips and buttocks for days y'all put on them tight pants and look like you're wearing leggings to the house of the Lord. Those are not the Lord's leggings. Do you hear me? Let me tell y'all something, baby. This is a slip. And if any of y'all growed up in the ministry, you know you put this under your undergarments. You don't come in there showing everything you got, discracking us in service. So I'm just asking you. I'm glad you came. I want you to come back. But can you come back with some decorum about yourself? Can you put on something decent? Decent and in order is what he asked you to be. And I'm just saying, come. We want you to come. We want you to absorb. But I'm going to tell you what the bishop's scared to tell you because he's scared you ain't going to come and put no offering in. I get some my money. I always been about my coin, so I ain't worried about that. And I ain't scared of you. You hear me? I'm the prophetess. Do you understand why they call me that? Because I know how to go get that and come back with that. Give my 10%. You hear me? And I won't forget that. But I'm saying to you on today, please don't let me see y'all coming in there looking like that no more times. Do you hear me? Do you hear me? That's all I asked. All I asked you to do is come in there decent and in order, girdle down and ready to receive the message and not distract the man of God. Do you understand that sometimes when you hear the man and the woman of God saying and it's because they can't get their thoughts together because you switching back and forth and back and everything. We don't need you jiggling for Jesus. That ain't what we need. That ain't what we need. That ain't what we need. We don't need a Jesus Christ twerk team. Some of y'all let's love to shout. Why would you wear a thong and then start shouting so your pants could drop down and we could see the top part of your tail? We don't want to see it. We don't want to see it. We don't want to see it. And I'm here to ask you to please govern yourself accordingly. I have been the prophetess. I'm going to be that again tomorrow if it's the Lord's will. Stay prayed up, y'all.